Okay, hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the MD-12 motor drive unit and why you should have one. If you have an FM series camera, this is an FM2, but it also works with the FM, FE, FE2, FA, and FM3A. This is the MD-12 motor drive. There was an earlier version, the MD-11. I'm not sure what's wrong with it, but everybody prefers the MD-12 in general. I'm not sure what the deal was with the MD-11, but I've never used one. It was superseded by this unit. I'm not sure what the improvement is. At any rate, it's a very simple unit. It does one thing and one thing only. It advances film. That's it. That's all it does. It has two settings. C for continuous. I'll press this little button here. S for single. Okay? So if I press the shutter, now this is now the shutter release. If I press the shutter release, advances one time, release the shutter release, okay? On continuous, I press the shutter release. It's going to fire the shutter at a rate of somewhere between 3 and 3.5 frames per second. I think maybe that's 3.2 frames per second, but somewhere between 3 and 3.5 frames per second is the speed of this thing. But that's not why I'm recommending it. It's not because you're going to go out and shoot sports and action and wildlife with this camera. You're probably not. This isn't the grade. This is not the camera for that. What this does is two things for the FM series cameras. Number one, it eliminates the need to pull the advanced lever to the standoff position in order to fire the shutter. This irritates a lot of people, particularly if you sight the viewfinder with your left eye. This thing's going to poke you right in the right eye. Also, if you're shooting in portrait orientation, so that the camera's like this, you're shooting up here, you've got this kind of sticking in your face. That's a little bit uncomfortable. So the use of the motor drive eliminates that. So that's one advantage. Number two, this thing's heavy. This puts some weight on the camera. It also provides a larger grip surface. That is an advantage if you're using heavy lenses. For example, suppose I want to go do a portrait, fashion, glamour shoot, and I'm going to use my 200mm f4 or some other similar large heavy lens. Maybe you've got a nice zoom you like, or the 180-2.8, that's a massive beast, and you want to use it for portrait. Or how about the 105-1.8? Everybody loves that thing. Or the 105 defocus control. These are very popular lenses, but they're big. They're big and heavy. And they will balance better on the camera if you're using the MD-12. So there you go. If I'm shooting with a big heavy lens like this, the MD-12 gives me a better grip, gives me better control, better balance. Okay. The weight is down here. Here's where the weight is. The 8AA batteries go down here, and that's carrying all the weight. It's much easier to manipulate this camera with a large lens on it, particularly for a fashion shoot or a glamour shoot where you're doing a lot of portrait orientation work. It makes it much easier to handle the camera. Big advantage to the MD-12 motor drive for that reason. It's a very simple device. As I said, it only advances the film. It does not, and this is important, it does not provide power to the camera. Why they didn't design it that way, I'm not sure. But many motor drives, at least later motor drives, are also battery packs. If you see one of these on a digital camera, it's typically a battery pack, which provides extra power to the camera. This does not. There is no electrical connection between the motor drive and the camera. On an FM or FM2, it's not such a big deal because they're not battery dependent. But if you're using FE, FE2, or FA, that is a big deal. And I don't know why they didn't do that. Another thing this motor drive does not do is rewind the film. When you want to rewind the film, what you're going to do is press up on this, or slide this little slider here up, which is going to pushes a pin which physically engages the rewind button, or the film release button on the bottom of the camera. And then you rewind as normal, like so. Other than that, the only additional accessory is an on-off switch. That's it. Off, on, release for rewind, and that is it. It's easy to install. All you have to do is, you've got these two gears here, which operate the lug that goes into the tripod socket. That's all there is to it. And if you want to remove it, all you do is like so, and there you go. And we're off. That's it. That is the only physical connection to the camera. Is the tripod socket right there. This has a little plastic or rubber bumper or some such, so it doesn't rub up too much against the surface of the camera. But it is not a physical connection. It's just a little bumper. So you'd remove it that way, and I put it back on in the same way. So now that's a bit of a challenge with that lens on there, but nonetheless, I can. Yep, wrong way. It's counterintuitive. It's counterclockwise to screw it on. Here, okay, there, reattached. Okay, so that's it, the MD-12 and why you might want to have one. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. Take care.